besides sharing all of my documents with my students through Google Drive, I also have my students complete the majority of their assignments using Google Drive. Certainly anything that needs to be typed, they use Google Drive, but also some worksheets or other work like that, I have them use Google Drive. Wide variety of benefits for doing this, for me at least. One is I have drastically reduced the amount of paper that I require in my classroom, which is great from an environmental standpoint, but also from an organizational standpoint. There's no more lost assignments, lost papers. I didn't have the worksheet, so I couldn't do it. They have access to Google Drive at home on their phones. The majority of students and all the students that we've had come through SHOP have access to this, so it has not been a problem there. I do inventory my students at the beginning of the year to make sure that they do have access, and if not, I would work with them differently. So the way that I have students complete their assignments in Drive, let's say that this is their Drive, and they'll go ahead and create a new document. And let's say this is an essay, and they'll type in their essay here. And then they would share it with me. I make them, when they share things with me, to keep it at edit, and you'll see why. Send it. And then I can open up my students' documents they've shared with me. So this is one that I've shared from my personal Gmail account, and I can read it. What I really like is that I can look at something called the revision history. So if you go under File and you go See Revision History, and I can see all of the changes that have been made to this document, by whom and when. So if Kristen Aber here says, I swear I worked on it, I've been working on it, and I just don't get it, I can say, well, yeah, you worked on it at 8:52 and 9:30 today. So it makes the students accountable. The ability to see who did what is also great for group work. So if they're working collaboratively on something, you can say who has made which contribution. What's also nice is if you somehow mess up and you want to revert back to a different version. Let's say I want to revert to this version of my document. I just click this Restore This Revision link, and it's been restored. The other thing about submitting their assignments in Google Docs is that I can make comments, and that's how I provide feedback. So I can open up the comments thread and put a comment here and say, please elaborate. I'll comment on it, and then they can actually reply to that. And say, sure thing. You can also add suggestions to their document, so there's some comments there. And this here will toggle you between being in editing mode, where you can make direct changes to their document. You can go into suggesting mode, and then you can say, what I'll sometimes do is make my edits there. So if you want to revise an essay that they're doing, you can go right in and fix any spelling errors or grammatical errors or anything like that, and then they just have to go through and accept those changes. So those are the basics about why I enjoy using Google Drive for students to complete their assignments. In Google Drive, you can either have them make a document, have them make a PowerPoint, have them make an Excel sheet, and then there's even more things that they could do. They could make a drawing, they could make an interactive map, which might be useful for some academic teachers. There's lots of varieties of things that they can do in Google Drive.